Hello guys, and thank you for joining me. My name is HongDian, and today I wanted to present you the HongDian 517S fountain pen. I have ordered this pen together with the HongDian 617 that I reviewed a couple of weeks back from AliExpress in order to take advantage on the discount for shipping or when ordering multiple items from the same seller. Basically, for both pens, I paid around 23.46 Canadian dollars, from which shipping was 6.58, and the actual pen cost me around $8.09 or somewhere around there. I thought I did like the 617. And to be honest, from the get-go, I'll let you know that I actually like this one even more than the 617. As you can see, As you can see, the body, it's basically all metal. Not just the body, the cap, the clip, pretty much, I guess you could call it flighter fountain pen. Even though probably you can't actually use it while you're flying, but at least it's all metal. Things to note is, well, the body, as you can see, it's very sleek, basically. It's very clean, not a lot of things that it's on it. It's tapered down at the top end and of the cap and at the top end of the barrel, not the top, the bottom end of the barrel. And between them, it's a very nice small seam that you barely feel it with your finger. On the cap, you have stamped the HongDian 517S. The clip, it's actually more usable than the 617. It's actually usable. On the 617, you couldn't really use it because it was very stiff. The finials are very simple, no stamping or any graphics on both sides. Everything gets aligned very well on the fountain pen. I don't see any edges that are out of place, especially here where the cap and the barrel meet. It's very smooth. You barely feel that groove. And if I have to be very picky, there is a little bit of edge here on the finial from the barrel, but honestly, if you just look at it, you won't see it. You actually have to feel it with your fingernail. But again, like I said, that's pretty much nitpicking. The cap, it's twist cap. It doesn't take a lot of the turns. I can still do it in one move, as I usually do. The only downside on this is that, for whatever reason, the twist in action doesn't feel very smooth. Basically, the inside is made of plastic, and for whatever reason, that plastic doesn't glide very smooth on these threads. Which on the barrel, the threads are metal. They're very well finished, nothing sharp about it, and as you can see, they're actually rounded and very smooth. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because of the type of plastic or maybe the threads are a little bit tighter on the cap, but it just feels like it snags a little bit. It's not extremely annoying, but you definitely feel it, at least in my copy that I have. Sorry, it looks like my camera has a lot of issues focusing on this all metal body pen. I'll try and keep it in focus as much as I can. Now, regarding the plastic threads on the cap, I'll be honest, I think I'm starting to understand why they are doing this, why they are adding plastic inserts with threads, because when you try and post it, you don't want to actually scratch the metal. And it works very well actually. Speaking of posting, the pen posts very well and secure, and it's deep enough, almost halfway. It doesn't really ruin the balance, at least not for me. It feels quite okay. It is a little bit maybe top heavy, especially if you write like this, you might feel it. But if you write more like this, it'll be actually well balanced. I don't know how I prefer it yet. I guess I'll know after I'm done with the drawing for today, which way I prefer most. But not posted, the length of the pen is actually pretty good as well. I like it. And again, it comes with the same section design that I really like, which again, I guess it has some laser brazing and some type of PVD coating on it. Because this is just as grippy as the other fountain pen. I like it. And obviously I personally purchased the nib in extra fine. It's fairly plain. It's not dual tone, it's single tone, but it has a nice design and I like it. And like most or all of the pens from Hong Dian, this is an actual nib unit that you can remove. I'm not gonna remove it because it's still attached to the converter. But it's a nib unit. You can remove the nibs as you usually do if you want to just replace the nib or just remove the entire nib unit. Personally, I am actually really in love with this this section. It's the type of section that I usually like. Almost hourglass shaped, taper out, and then flat bottom. I like that. Balance-wise, because I like doing this usually, it's a little bit basically bottom heavy, and with the cap, actually balanced really nice, pretty much in the middle of the pen. And I might like it capped, especially if I have to do longer strokes, but I guess we'll see. And when you remove the section, basically you have metal threads on metal threads, and the usual standard converter that HongDian ships their fountain pens with. Again, I usually find it better than the Jinhao ones because it doesn't have the extra lip at the top of this collar, and you can actually pull it out much easier. On the Jinhao, you have to actually cut that lip in order to be able to pull the collar out. And it does come with a spring, I believe. Oh no, oh yeah, it does. There you go. And this is the fountain pen in a nutshell. Based on what I see so far, the only thing that I found annoying is the threads on the cap, but that's kind of nitpicking, to be honest. I mean, for $8.09 Canadian, I think you're getting a pretty good deal. Well, but before making sure you're actually getting a you're getting a good deal, I guess we should also try and see if how it writes. The nib without ink seems to be a little bit chatty, but nothing scratchy. I mean, it is an extra fine. And if you look at if the camera wants to focus, if you look at that tip, that's really extra fine. Anyway, so come back. There you go. Reverse. Okay, on reverse, and the dust stroke seems to scratch a little bit, but doesn't seem like he actually breaks the paper. It just feels like it digs a little bit more into it. No, it didn't. Maybe we'll require a little bit of a smoothing, but we'll see once I ink it how bad it is. Anyway, that's it. Speaking of inking, let's get to that. I mean, the process is pretty much the same as all the other converter type fountain pens. What I'm curious about is to see if the section can be cleaned easily or there are issues with those grooves on the section. Okay, today I'm going back to Noodler's Black because of the drawing that I want to do. It requires a little bit of a darker tone, or at least I want to make it a little darker tone. Okay. And like usual, I'll basically fill it twice. First time to prime the feed, second time to get a full fill. Pretty good converter, a very minimal air. Almost at all actually. Well, it is some, but that's not bad at all. So that means that the distance between the piston and where the ink comes inside the converter is very small. Well, not very small, but small. Okay, you know what, let me put this away because I can see it all over. Now let's see how well it cleans. It cleans very well. Cleans better than the 617. Because 617 had the little heart in the middle. This one is out of ink. Well, I don't know if you remember, but my previous video, this was actually a little bit dark inside. It was hard to clean, but I cleaned it after I was done with the ink. Okay, let's do a quick writing test. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't write. Huh, what's the issue? Okay, there you go. Maybe the ink wasn't getting to it. Wow. Okay, this nib is wet. I don't know if you can see, but that is wet. Very interesting. It is a fine line, but it's a very wet line. No skips. Oops, it looks like it ate a little bit of paper. Oh, there's one thing that when I was playing with it, you can actually get some flex in this pen. When I was looking at it, when I bought it, I was looking at the nib, and as I was pressing on the paper, I noticed that it bounces a little bit and actually spreads the tines. I mean, it doesn't work because you really have to press on it, so I don't get to write properly. But for drawing, to get a little bit of a line variation will be nice. Not bad. I'm impressed. Okay, well, that's about it on this side. Let's see how it's going to perform on a longer session. While I'm putting this away, as you can see on my screen today, I wanted to try again another inspiration from my one of my pictures. It's I don't know what flower it is, but this was sometime in the summer when I took the picture of some long time ago. I forgot, like 10, 12 years ago. What I really liked about is how the petal was shaped, and that last petal was still attached to the flower. And well, in my head, sort of it looked like a wedding dress train, or like a dress with a purple train. And yeah, I really liked that. And I decided to take a drawing of it. It's a little bit different size. I had to play with this. Sorry, I had to play with the size to make it fit my little 8 by 5, 5 by 5 paper. And I had an idea on how to do a few things. Hopefully, all turn out okay. Anywho, I guess I'll get to it, and I'll see you after I'm done with some final conclusions. See you soon. Alright, I'm back. Not fully done with this one. I'm planning to let it a little bit dry out until tomorrow, and then I'll just use some alcohol-based markers to bring a little bit of color into it, and hopefully make it stand out a little bit. What's a little bit annoying with this ink is like a love and hate relationship. It smudges, but I like the darkness that he had. For this one was perfect. I mean, that's what I wanted. But anyway, I'll try and clean it up if I can. So, how did the pen perform? Actually, very good. I don't really find anything annoying about it. Now, the drawing did took me about 2 hours to do, 2 hours and a half. These hashes took way too long to do. But I love them. Anyway, that's a different story. And after 2 hours of continuous drawing without a break, my finger actually started to hurt a little bit, but that could be, well, because I didn't took any breaks. Another thing that I had a little bit was the spring that he had. It got stuck at the bottom, and basically I had ink starvation. It was all the ink was towards the top, and the spring wasn't coming down, so I had to take the converter out, smack it a little bit on the table a couple of times, and then it got free and started working. So ink-wise, as you can see, I'm almost done, but this took a lot of ink as well. So can't really complain. It did its job. Other than the two things, well, my finger hurting, but mostly because I didn't take any breaks, and that spring, which was easy to fix, basically, I had no issues. I think this extra fine knee beats the wettest knee by half so far. Now, obviously, this doesn't mean that all models of this fountain pen will have the same nib. It could be just a fluke, but a fluke that I'm happy about. It laid down a lot of ink, and I love that. While still being a fine line, which is nice. Okay, so I guess in conclusion, what do I have to say? The process, it's a nice body, metal body construction. I guess you would call it a flighter, even though, like I said, it doesn't really probably gonna work in airplanes up there. I assume it's stainless steel. It's just an assumption. I'm not 100% sure. Well balanced, posted and unposted, as I showed. Good clip compared with the other one, right? Good section. I like that section. It sticks. I never had an issue with it sliding off my hand. And again, for the price you get, it looks like you're getting a section that has laser abrasion and definitely some type of coating. Again, I assume it's PVD. Simple, sleek, very clean lines, nothing sharp on it that hurts your hand, and a decent converter. I mean, the thing with the spring could be just a fluke, the issue that I had. Other than that, as positive, that's about it, I guess. Not much else to say. Negatives, as I mentioned at the beginning, the threads are a little bit sticky. Maybe they're too tight. Maybe they will loosen up with time as you keep on using it. And nitpicking, all the lines on it are very nice, streamlined, and nothing seems out of place except the finial from the barrel. But even that, the only way you'll feel it is by actually using your nail and intentionally doing it. But if you glide your hand over it, you don't actually feel it. So, what do I think? Would I recommend this fountain pen? Wholeheartedly, yes. I would definitely recommend this pen. I mean, for the price that I paid, what was it? For both of them, I paid around, let's say, rounded up to $24, right? And this actually by itself, when I bought it, it was cheaper than this one, which I think this is the better pen to have, and I like it. Nothing wrong with it. So if you want, give it a try. You might like it, especially if you like metal body pens and stainless steel like this one. And I guess that's about it for today. For the drawing, obviously this is not the complete version. You'll see the complete version probably on the strip of in the intro of the video. And if you want to see it, I will also add it on my Instagram account, link at the bottom. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time, and have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are. Take care.